Alright. Alright, my friends, hello, aloha. Welcome to Blue Hawaiian Helicopters. My name is Greg. This helicopter is called the EC-130. It's worth about $3 million the way we have it set up for it. It's a fun way to see the island of Kauai. We got Pamela and Ronald here. Do you go by Ron or Ronald? Ron, alright. And then we got Susan, Maxwell, and Audrey. You go by Max or something? Maxwell? Alright, Maxwell.
I go by Pam.
Pam? Okay. There we go. Alright, and then we have 3 microphones, so we figured that out. One up front, 2 in the back, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Just push the button down, let it go when you're done talking. I will turn it off for takeoff and landing. Other than that, let's go see Kauai. Hopefully this will be one of the highlights of your trip here. Here we go. Airplane landing on the left here. If you walk down to the lighthouse, you see it go right over the top. Looks like gonna be a nice landing. They're trying to hit the 2 big white rectangles. That's the 1,000-foot aiming part. Look for the smoke on the wheels when they touch. If he gets it right, it should be right in the middle. Little long. A lot long, but they made it safe. Down below us here you can see Kalapaki Beach. They have showers there, you can wash your feet off. Any of you on the Norwegian Cruise Lines, the ship, the Pride of America? You guys are? Anybody else? Everybody? Okay. I'll bank to the right here so you can get a photo of the ship. If you want a picture, Maxwell, maybe you can reach across, ask Susan to get one or something. I'm in controlled airspace here. I can turn right here, but I can't do anything else really. But look at that. Kind of fun, yeah? You see that dome-shaped rock in front of you, Ron? That's where they filmed Raiders of the Lost Ark with Indiana Jones. The big one in the back there with the clouds on top. It's supposed to be in South America, it was actually here on Kauai. Who knew? I actually live right over here on the right if you want to come over dinner. We're having Korean chicken. Where do you guys call home, Ron, Pam?
What time is dinner, by the way?
6:30. Be there or I'll eat it all.
Okay. Pam and I are from New Bern, North Carolina.
North Carolina, nice. I actually was just blessed to go visit your guys' state. My cousin moved there, and he hadn't seen my daughter. She's 8 years old now, so we decided to go visit them, and we had a real nice time. The people were real nice there. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your time here in Kauai as well.
We definitely are.
Are you celebrating anything special or just on a vacation?
My birthday was yesterday.
Is that right? Happy birthday to you from Jurassic Park. Did you see Jurassic World, Ron?
No, I did not see it.
Well, if you do see it, they actually use your helicopter today in the filming of the movie, and it's in the movie. They took the name Blue Hawaiian off the top because the movie's supposed to be in Costa Rica area, right? So, but I should say for the record, no helicopters were hurt in the filming of Jurassic World. In the movie, the flying petrosaur dinosaurs get it. It's all special effects. We didn't even know they were going to do that. How about you, Maxwell? Audrey, where you guys call home?
We're from Canada.
Whereabouts in Canada?
Newfoundland.
Nice. So welcome.
St. John.
This the first time here?
We were in Maui a couple years ago.
Oh,
For 12
nice.
days.
Yeah, a little bit romantic over there, right?
Absolutely.
You come over here to get the scenery and the hiking and things like that. Down on the left here is the south side of the island. This is where they just finished filming a movie called Fast and the Furious. Probably 80% of the movie was shot right in this area, but they did some on the Nepali coast all of January.
Which movie was that?
It's called Fast and the Furious number 9. Actually, it's going to come out as Hobbs and Shaw with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He did a bunch of movies here recently. Down on the right was the old sugarcane lands. They don't really grow sugar here anymore in Hawaii. It's all moved to South America because of the cost of human labor. So welcome here to you, Audrey, Maxwell. How about you, Susan? Where do you call home? Are you also...
New York.
New York. Yeah, upstate, Long Island, Manhattan?
Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn area. Welcome here. You got family and friends here, and you're the only one doing the helicopter, or are you with people here?
My husband's too scared, so he's doing something else.
Well, that's fine. You can fly it, and we do sell this on a USB stick. It has the conversation, the video of the flight. You can share that with him, and maybe next time I'll go up with you.
That's true, maybe.
I'm going to take you into the next valley called Hanapepe. This will be where they filmed Jurassic Park. When they arrived at the park by helicopter, they landed at the base of a waterfall in the valley there. It's called Manawaiopuna Falls.
Greg, what is the size of this island in terms of square miles?
I always like for you to think of it like this. Imagine if you got in your car, to go out for a little drive in the evening. For a half an hour drive, where would you end up? You got kind of a little town there you'd end up in a half an hour from your house? That's Kauai. But it's 33 miles east to west and 25 miles north to south. It's about 552 square miles. Pretty small. There's only 70,000 people here on the island. There's 300,000 wild boar. I don't actually know how they know that, though. It's not like all the humans are answering the census. I know the pigs aren't. But that's what the Department of Land and Natural Resources estimate the pig population to be. You'd be surprised to know I just learned what they estimate the chickens. 420,000 is the chicken count, they think. Go ahead.
Are the boar edible? Do people actually...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big part of people's hunting here. Is saves money on groceries.
Okay, so it's... we could find boar in the supermarket, could we?
Well, you can, actually. They sell it in... private companies will put it together, they sell it, and you can go to Costco even and get it. Local pig here. They have products that are from Hawaii they sell here in the store, so you get what are called manapua. Those are buns, steamed buns with pork meat inside. They're Chinese, but in Hawaii they call them manapua. They make them here. You can buy at Costco. But a lot of people like to, come to Hawaii and do what the local folks do, right? So I always tell them, go pig hunting, because they actually offer that as an activity. If you've never pig hunted before, they give you a rifle. If you have done it before, they give you a crossbow. If you really know what you're doing, they give you a knife. And here's the cool thing, they even have combinations. You can go pig hunting and snorkeling. But they don't have snorkel pig hunting yet. This is a little lake below us. Is called the Alexander Reservoir. They drain it down to fill up the lower reservoirs for the Kauai Coffee Company, which has 4 million plants and 25 different flavors of coffee. Maybe some of you have been there. We're going to go down into Hanapepe where they filmed Jurassic Park, so I'm going to put the Jurassic Park theme song on just for kicks and giggles for those of you who know it. Here we go. Yeah, beautiful. Now people say that about my bald spot, but what do you think of the waterfalls?
Is that your water supply?
It's always here, all year round. This is a perennial waterfall. Perennial means that it does not dry up. Now let me ask you folks, do you guys want to do the same thing, normal routine, or do you want to do something a little bit different?
I vote for different.
Do what?
Different.
Different.
Alright. Normally what we do is we go here to the falls, and then we cut out to the west. You'll see all the helicopters do that. The reason I'm offering this to you right now is the clouds have opened up in the back. Normally they're not, which is why we always go to the left. See them go ahead now there? So I'll take you up in the center of the island here, and then we'll go left. Notice all the trees broken off by Hurricane Iniki that hit the island in 1992. It was a Category 4 hurricane. 174 mile an hour gusts. Now when we go this way, I like to take you into the Olokele Canyon through the secret entrance. I call it the secret entrance because it makes it more fun for you, right? But there really is a little spot here that's kind of a little cool way to get into the valley. It has two marker points. From this angle you can actually see them both. But if you see that pointy rock on the ridge right in front of us, that's marker point 1. Slightly to the right of it, farther back, is a gray rock. You see it? Straight ahead of us, a gray rock way back there. That's marker point 2. Above the gray rock, there's going to be a little landslide that makes an arrowhead shape that's red color. That's pointing in to where the secret entrance is to Olokele Canyon. Now, Olokele Canyon is about 23,000 acres of private land. It belongs to the Robinson family, who own the entire island of Niihau. There's no roads, no buildings, no people, no cars. It's private. So people who live here on Kauai don't even get to go in there and see it. We're going to go take a look. Now that you guys know the secret entrance to get in here, you guys can hike out here. But it butts up to the back end of Mount Waialeale. The tallest point in the island there is about 5,000 feet. The closest one is the tallest point, Kauai Kini, at 5,243 feet that you can see there. Can you see the landslide makes the little reddish colored arrowhead in front of us here? I had a BLT for lunch and I asked them to make it extra crispy bacon, so I got lots of little chunks there. If I clear my throat once in a while, excuse me. Oh, should have got one more water. Here's the arrowhead. Look at this. Now normally we cross downstream, so since we're back here already, because it's usually raining right here, let's go all the way back up in. First time I did this today, so I don't know if there's waterfalls, but sometimes there are waterfalls back here. There's a waterfall that doesn't have a name, Susan. It's right around the corner here. Below you, we'll call it the Susan Falls then.
Okay.
Alright, look down here. See the beige color rock? Just a little bit beyond it, kind of slightly around the corner there, you'll see the Susan Falls. There it is. Now if you do get your husband back here, tell him you want to go see the Susan Falls. But I'm the only one that knows it's called that, so. Can you see in front of us here, Ron, how it had a landslide? The whole top of the mountain broke off. That's the debris field from the 80s. When it hit the ground so hard, the people on the south side of the island felt it like an earthquake. I'm I'm just going all the way in the back because I know you guys want to say you went all the way into the center as far as you could go. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? No people. Now when the first Polynesians arrived here, there was only 2 mammals, monk seals and hoary bats, so they brought with them dogs, pigs, and chickens, which is how we get all the chickens, pigs out on the island here. 1,000 years later, where this river runs out to the shores, where Captain Cook landed in 1778. You can see the Susan Falls on your side now, Audrey, Maxwell.
Is that your drinking water?
You can drink that, yes. Probably 80% of the water is drinkable. However, I would not. Because we have 300,000 wild boars and a lot of mountain goats out here, those animals pass away. And you wouldn't want that in your drinking water, right? So you can get what's called leptospirosis. Leptospirosis name just makes me not want to drink the water. But 80% of it would be no problem at all. But it's better to not drink river water or waterfall water.
So where's most of your drinking water come from?
Well, they take it and they filter it. It'll come off the island here, but it's got to be purified first. Well, it doesn't have to be, but like I said, there's that small chance. So it is all purified. And you can drink water from tap here. You can drink it from hotels or anything. You won't get any bacteria like when you go to Mexico or things like that. It's good. This is actually, look at the goats just ran in the bushes. See them on the top there? Look down below you, Susan. I'm going to take you up on the top of the island, what's referred to as the Alakai Swamp. This is normally covered in clouds, but the reason we could go back there is the clouds have lifted today. So we're going to be able to go up and see the top of the island. Normally we would go around. Captain Cook landed where the river goes out into the ocean. You can see down there. That was January 1778. What was that, last month? January 19th. On the top here is the Alakai Swamp. And there was a biologist that came to Kauai from Norway. His health wasn't doing very well. He was a very intellectual man. And his doctors advised him to move somewhere else in the world because his health was deteriorating. So he decided to move to New York. While he was there, everybody said, if you want good weather, you got to go to California, go west. So he did. When he got to California, he actually helped California become a state. But then his health deteriorated again. So he's on the move. He buys a boat to Chile. Goes down to the harbor to get on the boat, to take the boat to Chile. And he doesn't like the crew, the people that he sees on the boat. They look like riffraff, and he's kind of a little concerned for his well-being. So he decides to trade his ticket with somebody else at the harbor down there, and that ticket would bring him here. He would rent the west end of the island of Kauai from the king. Only royalty had land. So he became what's known as a konehiki, a king's agent. He learned the 3 Hawaiian language, the language of the ali'i, the royalty, the language of colloquial spoken language, and the artistic poetic language. He could express his heart, and he could hear the heart of the Hawaiians. As a result of that, they loved each other. He loved them, they loved him. The queen heard about this white man from Norway that could speak Hawaiian. She wanted him to be her guide. You can see a pig hunter's cabin down on the right where they rest when they're hunting up here. So he decides he'll take her up here to that ridge over on the right where the clouds are really white. They hike up here with 100 people. She brings her friends and hula dancers and religious guys called kahuna. She's so taken by the beauty that she has a 2-hour prayer of Thanksgiving done right on the ridge. I'm going to take you to see her trail. You can hike it today. It's called the Alakai Swamp Trail. Look at this.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
next canyon called Kauai. I think this looks the most like the Grand Canyon in Arizona to me. See what you think. Some of you will notice these pastel-y light green trees down below. These are called kukui nut trees. That's what they make the kukui nut lei out of, the brown nut lei. But the reason they have it here, the layer, second thing they could do with it, is the oil from the nut is actually flammable. One nut will burn for 4.5 to 5 minutes. But you smear that oil on the wood and it makes it waterproof, and that's how you can make an outrigger canoe. So they took this tree with them everywhere they went. Normally we go straight across here and climb out of the canyon, but I'm going to take you guys back up into Po'omau. Again, because we have no clouds. It'll allow us to get out a different way that's actually a little cooler.
Dreams really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star.
Notice the water looks green color today. Sometimes it runs wine red because of the breakdown of the Alakai swamp on the top of the island. And then it gets the name Redwater Canyon. But you notice the canyon is red from the iron oxide. It's basically like having little particulates of iron that are rusting. But when that runs into the water, it makes it look like chocolate milk. The wine red color comes from the breakdown of the biological decay, the swamp up above. But mix that with the red dirt soil and the wine red river, it's really pretty, the right lighting. Today it's really clear. It's not a lot of breakdown in it, so that's why it's greenish looking water. Look on the right here and the left, there's waterfalls.
I watched them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Glassy skies.
This is a very rare view of the Waimea Canyon. Look at, there's people up there.
I like the
See them just below the ridge, up on the ridge there?
what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky.
Look at this. Isn't that pretty?
Of people passing by, I see friends shaking hands.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's just a really nice day too. That really helps. You see how we have clouds and they make shadows and it gives it depth and just a nice color gradations there because of the shadows. A lot of people say, I don't want to fly with clouds. Yes, you do. They're really cool. They add an awesome effect.
Then we'll know.
When there's no clouds, you get a lot of refracted light and your photos get overexposed. They're very bland greens. But in the shadows, you can see all the different colors of green.
Someday I wish.
Again, we talked about the Queen coming up here. When she hiked up here, they made a trail that goes out to the, now it's out in front of us here, but it actually looks cooler over here where I'm going to take you. But you'll see her trail, which is now wood planks. They made a walkway, it's bleached out, so it looks like a very thin white line because we're high.
What is the elevation where we're at?
It's 4,000 feet there, and all the way up on the right at the highest point is 5,200 feet. We're climbing through 4,200 right now. Okay, you see the thin white line on this side of that different type of tree down there? That's her path. Alright, look at this. This is going to be cool. And look at the clouds make it really cool. Look at that. right will be the wet side of the Nepali coast. And on the left, the dry, arid side. We'll go left first and then come back down low and get inside, check things out. You see that black spot in the water, Ron, below you there? That's a ball of fish. That's called akule. That is a massive ball when you can see it from 3,000 feet. Down on the left is the arch at Honopu where they film Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the cathedrals. Look at this. Look down on the right now on your side, Susan, Pamela. Pam, you can see the arch. The film Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is amazing.
Oh yeah. This is just one of those very special places on Earth. Normally have a waterfall back in here. All of the waterfalls in this area have been diverted to the sugarcane crops back in the old days. So in order to have rain here, we had to have a very heavy localized rain right up in there last night. Obviously did, because we do. Now I'm going to turn around here because this is just a cool view. This will be again where they filmed Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp on the shoreline. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
This is just unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah, these are called fluted cliffs or razorback ridges. I like to fly right up against them just because, well, we can. Let's do that.
Whoa, whoa.
See what looks like two people standing on the ridge up there is actually a very tall lava formation. The Hawaiians call that the two children playing on the ledge again. I like the humor there. If you want to take a photo forward, get your camera ready. Look at this right here. It's awesome. Right here. Look at this. You can see on the right, it looks like Machu Picchu in South America, and again, we came over the top. Maxwell, you like to go up in high places and look down?
I do.
Alright, we're going to do this for you. You guys don't mind coming along, do you? Let's
Not at all.
You saw the other helicopters that come in here and turn around and go offshore, but when there's no clouds, which they're starting to form, but there are none right now, so I can take you up here. This is a half-a-mile drop to the shoreline below. This ridge in front of us is only as wide as this panel. It's pretty cool. Watch this.
Breathtaking.
But wait, there's still more. For 1995... Alright, watch this. Alright, you ready? Here we go.
Whoa, whoa.
Look at this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
there's a pair of fingers on the ridge. That's called Makana Ridge, more famously known, of course, as Bali, right from the movie South Pacific. You don't have to worry, I'm not going to sing anymore. My wife, she says, you're not singing on that flight, are you? It's 2 words. Notice this is much more green here. This is the wet side. We're going to turn off here and go offshore. Look at the color of the water below us here, Audrey. Right below us here, it's about 10 meters deep, 30 feet. But under the clouds out there, it's 19,000 feet deep. That's over 3 miles. Again, you probably don't want to drop your iPhone there. You will be sailing along the coast here at around 5:15. You want to be on the port side of the ship, the left side. They'll go down the coast, turn around and come back on the starboard side, and then head to Oahu in the night. In the morning, you should wake up ready to go shopping at the mall. Because we have malls on Oahu. A really good gift if you want to get gifts for your friends and family, go to Walmart. Get Mauna Loa macadamia nut chocolates. They're teal color with beige. They're all the same. One box is $12, one box is $3. The Mauna Loa ones are $3 and they're super good. If you buy a whole box, go to the post office, mail it to your house. You don't have to drag it with you and worry about them getting distorted in shape and temperature. And then when you get home, you just pass them out to all your friends. Here's the trick. You can't eat the whole box when you get home. You have to pass it out, remember. There's a turtle right below. See the brown dot in the water straight down? It's a whole new. There's 2 more here. A big one right there. Another one here. Oh, they're big. Look at the coast.
Those turtles swim all the way to Canada in the summer months.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yes, we have seen turtles in Canada, eastern Canada.
Where do they go to, Banff?
No, Newfoundland.
To where? Vancouver?
No, eastern Canada, Newfoundland.
Eastern Canada, wow. I hear you talking, Audrey, but without the microphone. I can't hear you if you're talking to me. I can't hear you. Need the microphone.
Audrey said that he don't know where Newfoundland is. Newfoundland is the most eastern province.
No, I know where that is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful over there.
Not in February and January.
No, it's ice, yeah. Cold.
It's very cold. It's about 12 degrees there today.
Is that right?
That's
Well,
right.
if you're from Hawaii, you kind of would like that. You guys are getting away from that. We wouldn't mind going there. Although, you know, my wife, she's from Hawaii, and she says, you know how you can tell the local folks? I said, how? And she says, when the thermometer hits 70, all the hoodies come on. I have to say, it's actually true. I've been here 35 years, and now I'm doing it. It's like, really? 70 degrees? Down on the right here is a reef called Tunnels. This is where a little girl named Bethany Hamilton bumped into a tiger shark. You guys remember her story? She was 13 years old paddling on the outside of this reef here when she bumps into a tiger shark, and it takes her left arm from the shoulder down. Anybody losing a limb to a shark is a traumatic experience, right? When the news and the media approach her after the ordeal, she looks them in the eye and does something amazing. She looks at them and says, whatever, life goes on, big deal. Wow. But then she maintained that mentality and went on to become the women's surfing champion with one arm, and she still surfs right there. So they made the movie Soul Surfer about her. Today she's married and with her husband. They have 2 little boys, and she lives on the north side here and still surfs there. She's got some character.
I read that story.
Did you? Yeah, she's nice. She does a lot of things for underprivileged kids. Alright, I'm going to give it another minute or 2. If I don't spot a whale here, then we'll turn inland, but this is where they've been hanging out. Of course, they can hold their breath for an hour, so.
What's that black there in the water?
What is what in the water?
The black thing.
That's actually our shadow. I know you thought it was a whale. It fools everybody, don't worry.
Seeing our shadow, does that mean another 6 more weeks before winter's over?
Yeah. This is where Mitzi Gaynor washed that man right out of her hair in South Pacific. This is called Nurses Beach in the movie. Of course, it's called Lumahai. You cannot drive here right now because the road had landslides here in April. We got more than 4 feet of rain in one day. We got 49.62 inches of rain in one day. This whole area was completely inundated. People lost their homes. It was pretty bad. You can see the black tarp on the road down there. That's where they're working on the landslides right now. This is Hanalei Bay on the left, and we're heading up towards Lumahai. Wainiha Valley on the right and Hanalei on the left. All 3 valleys run up to the center of the island. Over on the right, you can see this where the clouds are up on the ridge. That's where the Queen looked out over on the bay on our left here. Some of you may get a chance to come up here. Most of you probably will not this trip, but maybe you'll come back. The road ends right in the middle of the bay, basically. You can drive to the town here, Hanalei. About an hour and 20 minutes from Lihue or from the ship to get to here. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. You can see we had a really heavy winds, 190 miles an hour on last Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the one before. See how the wind ripped the trees here? When the wind blows really strong on ferns and these types of tropical vegetation, it dries the moisture out in it and the plant dies simply from drying out. So what usually is extremely green in here will have brown areas where either the dirt is exposed or the plants have been dry burned. We call it wind burn. It's not normal, but it did happen last 2 weeks ago, Sunday. So now we've got the landslide areas and the wind burn. And for you guys, this looks really cool. For us, it looks really abused right now. But it's still awesome. Look at these waterfalls. You know, what were you doing 1 month ago, and look what you're doing today? Flying along the face of this 4,400 foot tall mountain in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in a $3 million helicopter with people you love. Oh, and I'm there. Just thought I'd throw that in there. What is it kind of cool you're doing? Well, what's your husband's name, Susan?
Joe.
Joe, you're going to love this. You know, we also do it on Maui. If you come again, you can fly over there to Molokai, where Father Damien was a missionary to the leprechaun. You might see 100 manta rays from the air on the south side of Molokai. On the Big Island, you can fly over and see where the lava flows were. Or on Oahu, you can fly over Pearl Harbor. If you come back again, Susan, bring Joe along.
I'll try. I just think this is amazing.
Awesome, yeah? See how brown it looks? Now we're going to descend down into Hanalei. You can see all the trees broken below you there, Ron. Look at the trees there.
Too much devastation, but so many waterfalls.
Oh yeah, and And don't feel bad, because it will take Kauai 3 months or less to get this all right back to where it was. So just enjoy the beauty of it, and that you got to see it while it was a little bit whacked out, but it'll come back. You should have seen 3 months after Hurricane Iniki. That destroyed 90% of the island of Kauai, but 3 months later, it looked like the Garden of Eden. That doesn't mean it was easy for people to live, but the island looked awesome. Now, this is where they filmed Jurassic World right here. I'm flying just like the aircraft you'll see in the movie should you watch it. We did use multiple aircraft with different camera mounts on them at the same time. I'm flying like what we call the prop aircraft, the aircraft you see in the movie. We're heading up towards Mount Waialeale, the main volcano that formed the island of Kauai. I want to take you inside what we call the crater. In order to do that, we're going to have to climb over the ridge and go inside it. You see what looks like a white eye in front of us? That's in the movie. It's a limestone deposit, carbonate mineral, but it's in that. It's also in a movie called Tropic Thunder with Ben Stiller. That was kind of an off movie. But after the movie, he bought a house on the north side of Kauai, so he actually lives here now as well. All the way down is where they filmed some of the Avatar movie, if you remember that one. On the left, on the shoreline, is a sleeping giant. You can see a rain shower coming in. That rain will come in and hit here and dump all the rain. That's why this is the wettest place in the United States. We get about 450 inches a year here. That's about 37 feet, if I didn't mention that earlier. 37 feet a year is a huge amount of rain, but you can see how 4 feet in one day was a massive. Alright, here we go. Look at this. Now you could see, if you were driving around Kauai, you might not even know this was here. If you were hiking, you might not even make it. It's 4 hours of really hard hiking. But if you take your hand and you stick it out in front of you and you pull it back gently and touch your forehead, you'll see it didn't even break a sweat on this. Look at this.
Are there hiking trails up here?
There is. Can you see in front of us the trees that look like broccoli? Those are called albizia trees. There looks like there's two rows basically. The left row where it hits the river, the albizia tree, that's where the road ends, and from there it's 4 hours to hike in here. Now because the trail is so hard to hike and wet, it's not used regularly, so it grows over and it's hard to follow where it goes. And that's the biggest problem. You start hiking about 3 minutes and then you're like, which way do I go? And you go off to the left and you should have gone right. You come back, you do it again, and every 4 minutes you're doing that, and it just becomes really wearing. I mentioned earlier about the pig hunting. This is one of the areas where the local guys will go pig hunting. You see the dirt road here. They'll come with their dogs. When they catch a pig, they'll cook it for 6 or 7 hours in a pit called the imu. Season it with Hawaiian sea salt, make a dish called kalua pig. If you're going to the luau, that's the main entree. You guys do the luau last night? Have you ever done one?
I think it's tonight.
Oh, it's tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not done one.
Oh yeah, they have different ones, different nights. Depends where you're going.
We did when we were in Maui 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's good. That'll hold you over. You know, my mom comes and she wants to do it every time she comes, so I take her to different ones just to try them all out, right? But the, you know, if you've gone once in the past 5 years or so, you're good. You can do another one, but they have the food, the dancing, the music, the regalia, the aloha spirit. It's just really cool. And we get to the lakes here. This is where they were just filming. Dwayne Johnson made a movie called Jungle Cruise. You guys remember Disneyland has a ride called Jungle Cruise? That was there since the 50s when they opened the park. It's now time to modernize it. So the Imagineers sit down and they're trying to figure out how can they modernize it. And they've been buying like Star Wars rights. You know, they've been connecting rides to Star Wars. They take the Pirates of the Caribbean and connect it to the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And somebody turns a light on and says, we need to make a movie. And then update the ride. So that's what they did. This is the largest Hollywood production ever shot on Kauai. They were here 3 months on location, right here in this little area here, where the lakes are. It hasn't come out yet, as far as I know. I haven't seen any trailers yet. But in the middle, you can see all the area where it looks like the grass is growing. They're watering it right now. They're done. You won't even know they were here.
When we plug in our air dryer in the morning to curl our air, where do our power come from?
Now, if we continue to fly for 45 minutes straight out, it would take us to Oahu. Only 8-9 times in the year can we actually see it. You can see it today. Look straight ahead of us. Can you see it out there? About 2 inches across, right on the horizon. Whenever I fly across the ocean and I can see the island, I'm happy. But most of the times you can't see it. Once we get on the ground crew is going to open the doors for you there. Susan, you'll come out on my side. Everybody go to the front. They'll let you get some pictures. They'll take you inside to show you this video. It does take a minute or two to pull up. If in the meantime you'd like to fill out a comment card, I appreciate those. I like to see what you guys thought. Again, my name is Greg. And we also have 3 computers you can go online if you want to tell other people what you thought of the trip. But again, folks, thank you very much. Mahalo. Enjoy the rest of your time here in the islands. Who knows? Maybe we'll see you back here again with Joe. Take care. Aloha.
Thank you. Craig, where does the electricity
You're
come
very
from?
welcome, my friends.
Craig, where does the electricity come from?
1 moment. We have general electricity, just like most places have, where they use diesel fuel to generate electricity with motors. But we are switching over. We have 5 solar power plants now, one built by the Tesla electric car company. And then we also have what's called a biomass fuel, where they burn trees. We talked about the albizia trees here. They burn those, and they boil water to create steam pressure to power a turbine to create electricity. And they're working very hard to figure out a cheap way to use the ocean for electricity.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Look at a Black Hawk taking off. He's heading towards Oahu. Probably take him about a half an hour to get there, 40 minutes.
Thanks, Greg. This trip was awesome.
I'm very happy to hear that. I would hope that you would find this to be one of the highlights of your trip to the islands here.
This is one of the highlights of my life. This is fabulous.
That's what happened to me. It is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I could do this all over again.
Well, I'd probably fly a little different route this time just for variety.
You did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you.